AOGage fans, this is Joe with another video, my third for tonight. I said I was going to shoot a couple of videos and get them posted tonight, so that's what I'm doing. One comment I got was from, and I apologize, I should have looked this up before I shot the video, and it just hit me now that I should have done that, but I think it was Bass Fanatic was asking about the MTH Mohawk set that I had done when I reviewed a couple of videos back. Yeah, I would recommend this as long as you can get it at a pretty good price. Like, I don't know if I'd pay catalog price for it. Now, we all know there's catalog price, and then there's the price when they finally show up in a hobby store. In a good hobby shop, you know what I mean? A good hobby shop's going to have a little bit cheaper. I think I paid, I think it was a set was like $3.99, I think. You know, maybe a little bit less, but I think the catalog price might be $4.99. But, you know, you get your typical cast-in details. But it is a Proto 2 engine from the Imperial line, so you got a lot of nice, good Proto 2 sounds in it. You do have the metal tender. It would have been nice if there was a real coil loader here instead of this cast-in thing, but that's minor. You know, that's minor. It does have Firebox glow in it, and yeah, I would recommend it, despite a couple of problems I had. Now, as you know, I did have a problem with the linkage broke on the one side. Might have been my problem, because on my old track plan, back there in that corner, I had two curves going around, two loops, and it was a little tight. And if I ran certain engines, and if they're going around the loop at the same time, they would hit. I think that's maybe what happened. And I think what happened was it cracked, and as I was running the engine, the crack got bigger and bigger and finally broke. I think that's what happened with this. Again, probably my fault. But when I got it home from the hobby shop and I ran it, the smoke unit wasn't working. And again, that could be because I had a lot going on here. I had track coming off, track coming on. I had this thing on the track, off the track after it got back. I didn't manhandle it. It didn't take a fall, anything like that. But you know, the smoke unit's not working. So right now I have the smoke unit turned off. I'm going to try and run it again, maybe sometime this week or next weekend. Turn the smoke unit back up, put some fluid in it, see what happens. Because what happens is it's in there cooking. It's just not pushing the smoke up, you know. So I don't know what it is. I did have a local hobby shop, a different one, take a look at it, and they did say he thinks it's the board. So it's probably going to have to go back to MTH. Another slight problem I had with this thing is there's two traction tires on here. When you're running this thing, I was running some heavy freight cars on here, some operating cars, some metal cars. The traction tires were coming off. They'd be going around the track and they'd be flopping, you know, so they may be stretched out, and so I'm trying to be careful what I run on. I'm trying to run some lighter cars because, you know, the passenger cars that came with it are kind of light. They're probably a lot lighter than what I'm running right now on it. Also, you want to try and start it and stop it at a slower speed, you know what I mean? That you don't just slam it on and off real quick unless you have to. But as nice, I still would recommend it despite these small problems that I've had with it, because it's got a great sound package. It looks really nice for the price. But as nice as the engine is, the passenger cars that come with it are really, really nice. Again, this is all Railcan, okay? I'm not talking about super realistic high rail detail, okay? This is just the stuff that I like. And this was the first time I've ever really opened up and really took a really hard look when I first got this set at MTH's passenger car stuff. These are nice, big, beefy cars. I really like them. This is the, obviously the baggage car with the doors that open on this thing and everything. If I can get it open here, you just kind of push them in. They're spring-loaded. There's even like some decking detail in there. It looks like wood decking. And, you know, you got the ladders here on the side that come down. I want to be careful of those. They look like they could break off pretty easy. Yeah, I mean, these are really nice cars with the, you know, the diaphragms and another nice touch. Look at that detail underneath there. Another nice touch. You know what I mean? Really nice. And I think at this price point, you just don't see this with I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. But at like, you know, under $400, you know, you just don't see this kind of detail with Lionel. And I'm still constantly impressed with MTH. I really, really am. Despite some of the minor problems I've had with that engine, and with some of the track when I was putting it together, some of the spots on it were dead. I had to replace, but even the track, the real track, I really am really digging it. I really like it. This is the passenger cars. with the interior inside. I don't know if you can see that. There's some seats and stuff in there. Really nice. Again, look at the bottom detail on that. Really nice. Really, really nice. These things are screaming for passengers, though. I gotta get some passengers in there. So when I can find them, I'm gonna try and pop this off and put some passengers on there. But passengers in there. But even the observation car, the tail car, comes with an extra coupler you can put on the back of it. Really nice. But yeah, I would recommend this if you said you had a chance of getting one. I don't know if it's the exact same set. I think I mentioned the set number in my last video. I don't have it handy with me right now, but despite those 3 minor problems that I had, I still would recommend it. The Imperial line from MTH is really, really nice, and you know, get them to run it for you in the store if you can. I mean, I did. When I bought this, I told him I wanted to see it run before I bought it, and he did. He opened one up and he ran it for me, no problem. He didn't take out the passenger cars, but he did run the engine. It was funny. He took the engine out. He put the engine on the track and it wouldn't run. It just wasn't running. It wasn't running. And finally, his son, I think it was, had said, "Yeah, you got to put the tender on it." It's an MTH. Yeah, you got to put the tender on it. So we put the tender on it, and of course it ran, because when it's tethered together, I guess that completes the whole thing. So it won't run without the tender. Die-cast tender, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that at all. That's a die-cast tender. Okay, really, 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 really nice. So yes, I would recommend it. Another comment I got was from Tommy Z Trains, I think it is. But I really appreciate, you wrote me a really nice comment about my thoughts on the hobby. And, nothing's changed. I still feel the same way about that stuff. But we do have the holidays coming up soon, because, I'm shooting this, was it mid-October right now. And if you know as well as I do is, once Halloween is over, the Christmas season starts. Just walk into any retail store and you'll see what I mean. But this is the big time of year for this hobby. And of course, this is the time of year where the hobby shops who sell this kind of stuff, this is where they make all their money, is these next couple of months. And I'm hoping that some of the hobby shops, maybe do something. I don't know if they can discount any more they can. Because in this economy, this is a tough hobby to be into, and it's got to be even tougher to be selling this stuff in this economy. Because as I mentioned, it's not cheap. It's not a cheap hobby to get into. You can get into it small and slow. It doesn't have to be very expensive to start out with, obviously, but if you want a solid, decent train set, you have to be expected to spend at least, you could buy a nice starter set from Lionel for like $100 and $175, but I'd kind of recommend, if you can, to spend a little bit more, maybe on an MTH or maybe a little bit higher end Lionel, but right now that's a lot of money for some people right now, and like I had mentioned, maybe this isn't something you get into at a younger age. I have a 14-year-old, very little interest in this stuff. Him and his friends have very little interest in this stuff. I'll tell you something. He has some friends over once in a while, and I'm in my basement right now, and back there in that part of my basement, there's like 2 more rooms, and into one of the rooms, we have like a refrigerator, and we keep like sodas and juices and drinks. So if him and his friends want to get a drink, a lot of times they'll come down the basement and they'll get something out of the refrigerator and come back upstairs. Not once has one of his friends asked me to run the trains. Honest to God, not once. They would come up and say, "Hey, a cool train set downstairs. Cool train set downstairs. That's really nice." Never asked me to run them for them, but that's okay. That's all right. But yeah, I'm hoping like with the holidays and stuff like that, maybe some kids will start getting interested in this stuff. Man, I mean, when I was younger, that's when I was interested in this stuff, but I wasn't competing with, I didn't have an Xbox, you know what I mean? And Lionel and Lionel and MTH, they are competing with that stuff. But I appreciate the comments, and keep sending them. I don't post comments as much as I should, and that's going to change. I'm going to start posting comments a lot sooner. But thanks for watching, and hope to hear from some of you soon. Bye.